Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a playtime slash review slash swatch video on this bad boy right here. This is the Morphe 39A Dare to Create palette. This is their holiday palette. They came out with this amazing, big, large, oversized, beautiful palette. They came out with this for the holiday season, and I was so excited to do a video and play around with it. At first I was gonna be like super boring and do like, I was gonna play around with some of the purples in here and some of the browns and the neutrals, and I was sitting down getting ready to do a video, and I asked my younger brother what he thought I should do a video on. He says, this palette, but you have to do this shadow, and it was one of the blues in there, and I was like, I'm generally not very comfortable using blues, but I thought, you know what, why not step outside of my comfort zone, because this palette is called the Dare to Create palette. You see what I did there? Anyways, I had a lot of fun playing around with this, and I actually really enjoyed how the look turned out, surprisingly. So yeah, that's about it. We're gonna go ahead and jump right on the video. Okay, so we are gonna get started here. I have my 39A palette, the Dare to Create. This palette is massive. I love it though, because there's so many possibilities in here. You open it and it's just like, oh, it's so amazing, and there's so many different like color schemes in here. So we're gonna dive right on in. Okay, so my eyes are already primed, and the first shade I'm gonna go into is this color right here. This is the color Bear, and this is gonna be my first transition shade. I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna kind of layer transition shades. I know, sounds a little bit crazy, but I'm gonna play around. This is a playtime video. This is gonna see how all of the colors kind of blend together and the blendability of everything, so trust me, bear with me. The first color I'm gonna go in with is the shade Bear. So I'm using my Morphe R37, and I'm just gonna start how I normally put my transition shades on. I'm gonna start on the crease, working my way from inner corner to outer corner, using windshield wiper motions, and then when the product isn't so heavy on the brush, I'm gonna use small circular motions, just buffing that all over the crease. As always with the first transition shade, you don't have to be super precise. This is just your first transition shade. So the next shade I'm going to pick up is this one right here, and this one is called Sunder. I'm just going to layer that one right over top of that first shade that we put down in the crease. So I'm just going to layer that right over top of that first shade in there. This one I'm going to try and keep a little bit lower in the crease. I'm raising my eyebrows a little bit just so I can really get it deep in the crease from inner corner to outer corner. This one I'm not being as, I guess you can say, sloppy with my movements. I'm going in really defined small circular motions from inner corner, then back out to outer corner, and just really blending it in with that first transition shade. Okay, so the next shade I'm gonna pick up is this shade right here, and this is the shade Indigo. This is a very, very dark blue. If any of you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you know that blue is one color that I don't use on my eyes that often. So that's why I wanted to go in with some good transition colors so I can blend this out really nicely, because if you're not careful with blue shadows, you can look like you have a black eye real quick. So I'm going to go in with this indigo color, and I'm going to use a very, 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 very light hand because I've swatched this and it is intense. So I'm just going to use my Morphe M513, which is a more tapered blending brush, and I'm going to work that very lightly, and I mean very, very lightly. Like look at that, I barely tapped it and there's so much pigment. I'm going to put that very lightly in my crease over those first two transition shades. Maybe 2 transition shades was a bit excessive, but you know what? Can't be too safe. Better safe than making it look like you have a black eye. So I'm just gonna continue to work this out very, very slowly, using small small circular motions. This is one tap into the palette, and look at how pigmented that is, guys. That is insane. And because I'm not trying to channel the 80s here, I'm going to go back in with that Sunder color, and just at the top I'm going to blend those out to not make it look so harsh and, you know, 1985. Okay, so now what I am going to do is I'm going to take a flat synthetic brush and I'm going to pick up the shade Dare Me, which is this really, really, really beautiful color here. This is a like bright, almost cerulean blue. This is a shimmer shade. And this is the color that my younger brother really wanted me to use. So I'm gonna pick this up with my flat synthetic brush. And we're going to go in with a dry synthetic brush first. I'm not going to spritz anything. I just want to see how the pigmentation is without spritzing my brush first. I'm going to pick this up and put it on my eyeball. Well, not my eyeball, but my eyelid. Eyelid. I'm just going to take it and I'm going to put it all over my lid. Oh, that's pretty. So that's how it applies with a brush. I think I'm going to use my finger, actually. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, so I ended up going back over with that same Dare Me shade with my flat synthetic brush, and I did spritz it with a little bit of my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. So this is what I ended up with. So next I'm going to use this shade right here, and this is the shade Taylor, and I'm going to use my finger and spritz it with a little bit of setting spray and go right over top of the center of my lid. So I did spritz my finger with a little bit of setting mist, and well, hello. Well, that is pigmented. Alright, so that was a bit brighter than I wanted, so I'm going to go back in with my flat synthetic brush and a tiny bit more of Dare Me, because I don't want to take too much away from that color, and just lightly pat over top of that to just kind of blend the two together. I'm just barely tapping it just so it really fades in and mixes well. So the next shade that I'm going to pick up right here is this shade right here, and this is the shade Slice. And I'm going to put this on the outer corner just to add a little bit of dimension to my look, just so it doesn't look so stark raven blue, if you get my drift. So on an M534, I'm just going to take a little bit of this Slice shade, and at first I'm just going to dab it out on the outer corner, and then work my way into blending it on that outer V. And this is going to give it kind of that dark, smoky eye effect without making it look so blue. Like, do you guys remember the movie My Girl with Jamie Lee Curtis in it, and how blue her eyeshadow was in that movie? Yeah, that's not the look I want to go for. Not today. So we're just gonna kind of deepen out the outer corners using this Slice shade, going in really small circular motions, because I don't want to take away from the blue. I just don't want it to look like I'm trying to jump back into the 80s. So next I'm going to go in with that Slice shade again on a flat definer brush, and I'm going to start smoking out my lower lash line. I'm just going to get this really tight on the lower lash line. Then going back in with Dare Me, I'm going to take that on my Morphe E18 brush, and I'm going to smoke out the lower lash line. Alright, so eyeshadow is basically done, so I am going to put on some mascara and some eyeliner, which you guys have seen a million times. I'm going to do that off camera, and then I'll be right back to show you guys swatches of this palette and give you my final thoughts. So, okay, I also threw on a lip color while I was off camera, and today I'm wearing the Milani Matte Lip Cream in the shade Adorable. I wanted to go with something a little bit more neutral since my eyes are so wha-bam. So, final thoughts on the Morphe 39A Dare to Create palette. If anybody saw Jaclyn Hill's Snap story whenever she was talking about this guy, I'm sure you guys all know that when it was created, all of these are meant to be different color stories. So you have like the brown color story, the reds and the purples and the blues and the greens, and then you have all of your transition shades that kind of go along with it. And I think that is absolutely wonderful. Given the fact that there are so many different color schemes in this palette, you can literally create any kind of look, whether it be a purple or a mauve or a brown or a blue or a green or something super simple. So my final thoughts are, this palette is ridiculously easy to use. You guys know me. If you've been to my channel, you know I am not comfortable working with blues. I've always thought they looked kind of funky on my eyes, given the fact that I have brown eyes. I feel that blue eyeshadow looks gorgeous on people with green eyes and with blue eyes especially, but for me, I'm a little bit hesitant to use blue. So the fact that I was able to so easily and seamlessly blend out these shadows, especially with colors that I'm uncomfortable with, makes me a firm believer in the fact that no matter if you are a beginner in makeup or if you're super experienced, no matter what level in the makeup world you are in, this palette is ridiculously easy to use. I think they hit a home run with this. This is a fabulous, fabulous palette. This is a great holiday collection. If you don't get anything else in the 2017 holiday collection, get this palette because it is amazing. If I had to give just one little itty bitty critique on this palette, I do wish that there was some kind of light shimmer shade for an inner corner and brow bone highlight, but that is honestly just nitpicking the crap out of it. Honestly, there's so many single shadows and other palettes that have shimmer shades for really great brow bone and inner corner highlights that I think this palette is just, it's amazing. Would I recommend this? Yes, I would. Am I going to continue to use this? Heck yes, I am. Have I discovered that I'm actually not that afraid of blue eyeshadow today? Yes, I did. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching me play around with makeup. Like this video if you like it. Don't forget to leave me a comment if there's anything else you would like me to review and or try out or talk about on my channel, or if you just want to say, hey, I love talking to you guys. So yeah, that is it. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.